Well, I've spoken to President Biden about this many times, and every time he has said he has never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings. But House Republicans yesterday had this whole first impeachment inquiry hearing where they essentially made the argument that they don't think that is true.
At least 10 times, Joe Biden lied to the American people that he never spoke to his family about their business dealings. He lied by telling the American people that there was an absolute wall between his official government duties and his personal life. Let's be clear. There was no wall.
The Oversight Committee is producing now an email from an email to an IRS official after the IRS was approached for comment about the Hunter Biden tax affairs case by CNN. Quote, producer has an email from Hunter saying he expected all of this, quote, stuff to go away when his dad becomes president. They have now subpoenaed Hunter and James Biden's personal bank records. So far, many accusations, but no proof President Biden ever personally profited from the family's business dealings, and none of the witnesses Republicans called have firsthand knowledge of the Biden family's dealings.
If the Republicans had a smoking gun or even a dripping water pistol, they would be presenting it today, but they've got nothing on Joe Biden. All they can do is return to the thoroughly demolished lie that Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump launched 5 years ago, the Burisma conspiracy theory.
Senator John Fetterman found time in his busy schedule to direct a staffer to deliver a case of Bud Light to the Oversight Committee with a note taped to it. The note said, to Rep. Comer and his squad, a profile in courage can make a guy thirsty. Congratulations, this Bud's for you. Hugs and kisses, John Fetterman. There are 24 beers inside of that box. They are probably all gone now.
You're probably right.
If they're free, you will drink Bud Light.
That's right. So Peter, when Joe Biden said to you a couple of times, I never talked to my son about his overseas business dealings, are you part of this impeachment inquiry? Answers he's given you?
Well, I think that his answers to us would be part of the 10 times that Republicans say that he has lied about that.
And one other thing, is the White House circulating that clip of Jonathan Turley, who is a Fox News contributor, where he said yesterday in the testimony that currently there's no evidence to support an impeachment?
The president's allies are circulating that clip, but the White House's focus has been more, they were sending out almost hourly updates yesterday. There are this many hours until a shutdown, a government shutdown, and yet Republicans controlling the House are focused on this.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
It's interesting that Jonathan Turley had that remark, because we've gone through so much of the evidence.
But, you know, the thing is, though,
you didn't see it.
But the thing is,
he doesn't. That's his opinion.
But it's 100% correct. That's why it's an inquiry. Yeah. It's an investigation. And they could have kept it quiet and said, look at all we got. But they gave us a live inquiry along the way. They said, this is what we got. Now we got 20 bank accounts. Now we have proof that he was at 20 conversations with Devin Archer. Now we have proof that he was actually at a dinner with some of the people that invested with Hunter Biden. So they kind of reviewed it, outlined it, because a lot of people don't follow it like we do. So they outlined it in order. And what was fascinating to see, and a bit befuddling, is Democrats wouldn't say, oh, I don't think that's true. They would say Donald Trump did worse. Kushner did worse. And what they're doing is that is a total, that's the answer I expect from Turley, because they don't know. This is not impeachment. This is an inquiry, and the frustration of the slow walking of all the documents and intelligence, even from the National Archives, the librarians who are supposed to be apolitical, has been maddening. So they said, let's do this. I'm going to bring this front and center. I'm going to make these witnesses public. And soon it's going to be Hunter. Soon it's going to be Jim Biden.
And to your point, Brian, during the pre-interview process the staff conducted, they already knew Jonathan Turley was going to say this.
There was no...
And they still allowed his testimony.
Did you hear what else he said?
Exactly.
But even if it is an impeachment inquiry, why did Jonathan Turley say that? There is so much evidence.
Because
you went through all the evidence.
But not enough to
impeach. He's just saying not enough.
Yes.
He said currently there's no evidence to support articles of impeachment rising to the level of high crimes and misdemeanors. I heard a number of Republicans yesterday during the testimony say, you know, there's a lot of smoke here, and we're just looking for the fire. ultimately, usually with impeachment proceedings, we see they've got all the evidence already, and so they say, okay, this happened, and that's the law that was broken, and stuff like that. Instead, as Democrats would say, they'd say essentially it's a fishing expedition.
How hard is it, though? I mean, look, if I wanted to know if Brian was doing anything wrong, I could say, let me see your bank account. So how are you paying your mortgage? How do you have a nice house? You know, or let me see your bank records, and then I'd go through and see that your money's coming out of Bank of America to pay your mortgage payment. Then I'd see your Fox paycheck and see if you're making enough to pay that payment.
That's what a forensic accountant's doing. He's saying, look at this. What are they hiding? What are they up to? Where's the money? Here is the forensic accountant that you saw yesterday for 7 hours. He is not working for Republicans or Democrats, but this is what he does for a living. And here's what he says he knows. Watch.
No one asked me direct questions about the bank statements that I reviewed, the trail of money, or getting to the bottom and the truth of what this money was being paid for. Hunter Biden was receiving $1 million a year to be on the board of Burisma with no expertise, no known expertise for an oil company. I just went and looked at the same year, 2015, for ExxonMobil. Their average compensation for their directors, their independent directors, was about $350,000 a year. So you have to ask yourself, almost 2.5 times the rate, what is Burisma paying Hunter Biden for, and why? And what's being given in exchange for that? Was it just the illusion of access to Washington, as that's the story now? Or was there something more?
So he's saying